We make sure we're doing something, giving something to the marketplace that nobody else is doing. And we've been able to do that. So I was like, last night I couldn't sleep. I was like, it's almost Christmas. One more day. It's almost Christmas. So it's Christmas.
I can't tell you all enough, like, how ready I am to be able to dig in with everybody, answer the questions, get the needs served so that you're comfortable with going from offline with your business to fully online, and even automating the process somewhat. So I am excited. I can't wait for us to be able to dig in. I'll say this, it's a safe space. It is a judgment-free space. And also it's a space where I expect a lot of questions. I want a lot of questions. And so I really want us to be able to shake it out. Don't think that you should know anything already. Like, that is so important for me. And even look, Mrs. Owens is like, exactly. Like, I don't want you to think that you have to have any prior knowledge, anything that, you should have known, should have, could have, none of that. We are here. We are ready. We're prepared. And so I'm so excited. It's Christmas for me too, Coach Larry. HB, you got anything you want to say?
Super fired up. Been looking forward to this, been prepping for it, been meditating on top of Tibetan mountains, trying to get right so that we can bring you everything that you need this weekend. If you get through this weekend, if you get to Monday and you're the same person, I would say we didn't do our job, but I know we're going to do our job. So I'm going to say you didn't do your job by welcoming, by taking all the information, by being here, not to be curious, but to be serious, right? And that's what we need from you. We need you to be absolutely serious. We need you to draw a line in the sand right now before everything starts. We want you to make a list of what you want to get out of this thing. What is those things? What are those pressure points that you feel? If I hit this, this, and this, that's the combination. It's like playing the Nintendo games back in the day. What's your cheat code? What is your code? Up, down, left, right, BA select start? I don't know. That's Contra, but I don't know what it is for you. What am I going to do? I'm going to work with you all as far as your belief. My good sister Ariel said, this is a judge-free zone, which is true. This is a safe place, but the rest of the world isn't. The rest of the world may not be, and we need to make sure that you are strong enough, you are secure enough, that judgments don't matter, because you know this very small list of people who can judge you and you actually care, right? But we're going to work on all that. What's your mindset? Getting you in the right place. That's what I'm here for. Super excited about doing that. My bachelor's is in communication. My master's is in coaching psychology, working on my doctorate in performance psychology right now. I've been a trainer for 25 years and more, and been training not just in the business world, but everything from prisons to working with gang members to get them out of their gang situations. I was in Ghana working there with the schools. I was in South Africa working with Gandhi's granddaughter, who brought me down to work in the townships and with the police officers and the community and bridging those gaps. So I've worked in to the reservations, right? To the rich areas of town. So I've worked in all these different areas with all age groups, helping from 5 to 105, helping individuals cross that bridge to the place that they want to be. And I look forward to pouring all of that into you all. And if you don't have a good time, it ain't my fault, because I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have a great time. So I hope and I invite you to join me in a joyfully learning and growth experience. So good to see you all. Miss Larry, big sis right there, Ariel's in the house. And of course, my brother, the orchestrator. If we were the X-Men, he's Professor X, you know what I'm saying? So my brother Dunbar, man. So I'm turning, he's in the chair. You look like Professor, you got the whole chair going. You know what I mean? Don't shave your head yet. It's not time though.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So family, when I decided that I wanted to grow a business that would last, another 100, 200, 300 years, I really started to research and decide what would that look like? Who would I have to show up as? What would I have to become? And I ended up going into the world of marketing because I realized that you couldn't do business the right way without it. I hope that put a 1 in the chat if you guys recognize that marketing is a separate division from sales, is a separate division from operations, is a separate division. Human behavior and psychology is so crucial. So just so that you guys know a little bit of my background, I started a consulting firm at the age of 24. And this was after I did door-to-door sales. This is after I did high income sales even. And I decided that I wanted to be able to serve small business owners like yourselves in a major capacity, helping them expand, helping them merge, helping them create systems. And so I went into the world of what some people call managerial accounting. And after dealing with C-suite, whether that was CFO, CEOs, COOs, controllers of companies, I recognized that there was a gap between people, income, and resources, right? And so I started filling that gap and filling that need. And then I slowly but surely navigated into the world of marketing because I recognized that, yeah, we wanted sales, but we didn't know how to create relationship. We didn't know how to build trust. We didn't necessarily know how to find the people that needed our solution. And so I want you guys to write down right now, what need do you fill? Jot that down for me. What need do you think that you fill? And it may not be the same answer at the end of this weekend, but we're going to make sure that by the time that the person lands on your website, your social media platform, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, whether that is LinkedIn, they know that they can trust you and they know that you can create that solution. Family is non-negotiable. If we recognize, I decided that I was going to take this profession seriously, and I am Google Ads certified, Amazon Ads certified. I'm the person that's the performance marketer. So not just digital marketer, I'm the person that looks at the spreadsheets. I'm in the builders. I'm setting up marketplaces for enterprise companies that are selling their items on Amazon and Google. And so I find that the gap is we don't necessarily know how to communicate to the pain point of our customer. And so that's what I want to help you do. I want to help you show up in a human way. And I want to make sure that you know that you can become a marketer, a true marketer that speaks a heart language without sacrificing family, without sacrificing the sale, without sacrificing the time that you're going to spend in your business as well. And you get to have fun while doing it. So excited to be here, family. Yes, I'm degreed up. Yes, I have experience in business in other places, but I really am excited to be able to serve the needs for your social media. And I want us to all recognize that we are truly the start of our history. By the time, Gary Vee said it best, by the time that we look around to the left, to the right, and start researching back on our grandfathers, our great-greats, and our great-great-greats, because we have so much capability to create platform and visibility and a presence that will be here digitally for hundreds of years to come, family, we're sort of kind of like the starting point. And when we recognize that, we get to take what we do seriously and we get to show up for the needs of our legacy. So excited to be here. I will pass it to Coach Larry.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. It's awesome. Every time I hear your background, I'm just like in awe. I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, she did that. She does this. She can do that. So I'm going to be one of those people who's going to be, bowing at the throne because I truly want to be able to use all of the different platforms of, whether you're talking Facebook or TikTok or Twitter or whatever it is. So thank you for showing up and showing out. So me, well, a little bit about me. I'm the geek. Now, I say that because I am truly a sales guru, but I'm also a geek. And here's how I got from geek to sales. When I got out of school, I had a degree in computer science. I became a programmer. And some of you guys have no idea what that is. But back in the day, that's what we called it, a programmer. And from there, I started to work on programs, working with particular companies. And I had this one gentleman who was always saying, you'd be great in sales. You'd be great in sales. And I was like, because I was doing sales and marketing. I was doing some public relations, and advertising was where he was in, what he was doing. So he convinced me to take the leap. And once I did, I was head over heels in love with sales. I love the autonomy. I love the idea that I had no ceiling in terms of my income. I love the fact that I could learn. I love the fact that I had freedoms that I had not experienced in corporate America before. I was always in a cubicle. Now I was working from home, and again, I could earn whatever I wanted. So I dived in. I went to them and I asked if I could take a sales course. They paid for a Dale Carnegie 12-week sales course for me. And I'm telling you, I was sold. I just felt like this was my destiny. And what I learned along the way is that as long as I have the skills that I've acquired over the years in sales and marketing, I don't care where you put me. It doesn't matter. Those skills will transform no matter what industry I'm in. And it gives me the ability to earn money at all times. And I realized that as I got older, there were more and more women coming to me, and I really wanted to be able to pour back in. I have a heart for women. I love my brothers. I cannot imagine this world without them. But I'm going to tell you, when the world has knocked me down, it's a sister who's picked me up. She let me cry on her shoulder. She came and cleaned the house. She washed the children. She mopped the floor for me. So when I realized that it was time for me to show up in the way that was my destiny, it was about giving back to the women, right? And specifically women who were 40 and over, because society was telling them every day, no, you don't have anything else to offer. You've had the children, you've worked in corporate America, you've given so much of yourself. Now we want to put you out to pasture. And I was saying, look at these incredible women. Look at all that they still have to offer. The 40, the 50, the 60, the 7-year-old, they were viable and they wanted it. And they were willing to do whatever it takes. And I'm like, if they want it and I can show them how to get it, then I am there. I am there for it. And I believe that we still, because of what we've learned, right? I tell people, I'm not my age. I'm not my age. I am all of the experiences that I've had. I'm all of the things that I've encountered over the years. I'm all of the disappointments. I'm all of the gains. I'm all of these things that make me someone who is a wise woman. So there are a lot of wise women. And I'm saying, come along. Let's figure this out. Right? Because sales is sexy. I don't care what anybody says. Sales is sexy, right? So I'm excited about kicking off here. This is the geek part of me. The automation and the technologies. This is the geek part of me. So I get to live the geek part of me, and I get to live the sales part of me. And I hopefully will show up in a way that I give you guys all that I got, right? So I appreciate you showing up, and I appreciate the fact that you're willing to be here with us for 4 days, and that you're willing to do what's necessary, because we know that if you do the things that we share with you, that in a split second, it can change your whole life. It can change your business. It can change your legacy. So thank you guys so much. I am going to turn it over to Mr. Robert Dunbar. TBD.
So thank you guys so much. This is going to be exciting for me. Like I'm overwhelmed. I laid down at like 5 o'clock in the morning and got right back up at 8, and I've been up ever since. And I don't even know when I'm gonna go to sleep again. I'm hoping I get some sleep between today's session and tomorrow's session, because I'm super excited. My story is I haven't had a lot of experience with working a 9 to 5. And what I learned in the business world, I learned because I made a lot of mistakes and I lost a lot of money. I was taken advantage of by several different people in the real estate world. I got beat on a $75,000 deal my first year in Florida. I did a deal. It was supposed to be a split $75,000 split, and the guy walked away with everything. And I still haven't seen the guy. I got beat so many times by bankers and business partners, and because I was out here trying to do it all by myself. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anything. I was out here going from one business to the next, and it was always about money. It was never about what I really loved to do. That's how I turned into a quality of life person, because at one point, everything was about money. So when I got here, I started doing real estate, and real estate went bad. I had 8 properties. I lost 3 of the properties. I had a Mercedes-Benz and a BMW. I was playing musical chairs with the Mercedes-Benz, hiding it behind the house that I had left, right? Because my BMW had been taken. And in the meantime, while I was dealing with all this, while lights was being cut off, housing property was being taken, bank accounts was being drained, I had a bleeding ulcer because I was so stressed out and I had no other form of income, right? I didn't know how to get a job and keep a job. So I was just in a situation where I had to figure it all out, which means I had to go to the next thing. So I went to assisted living, had no experience in caregiving, didn't want to be a caregiver, but I wanted to make money. And I found out real quickly that you cannot caregive for money. So in that industry, I did it. I made some decent money. And then I realized that it was 42 limited mental health clients versus me, and they was winning. So I had to make a decision that I wasn't going to spend the rest of my days, right? But everything that happens for a reason, because I spent so much time around limited mental health clients that I understood that industry so well that 3 years later, my daughter was diagnosed with bipolar 2, and I knew how to handle it. Because I had been around those clients for so long, I had dealt with those clients for so long, I knew how to get her checked out. I knew the signs when I saw it, and we were able to get on top of it and take care of the situation because I had that experience, because I was in that world, right? So I went from there to tax offices, to a franchise tax office. I did a Janet King janitorial service. I did that, spent $50,000 on a Janet King janitorial service and made no money. The one and only business that I spent money on and didn't make a dollar back. So I got in so many different industries, so many different businesses, and none of it was based on what I wanted to do. It was all based on money, right? I thought I was living the dream. 4 years into Florida, got into the nightclub business, the dancing nightclub business, and thought, right? At 30 years old, I was living a life. I'm in Florida. I own a strip club. I can stay out all night. I can hang around women. And it was the worst decision I ever made. It was the worst. Let me tell you something. When I got into that business, I don't think I dated for about 3 years afterwards. I saw so many women. I didn't want to see a woman for 3 years.
He was living the life of P Valley.
Right? I'm telling you, it's serious, right? So I found out quickly that I was not the kind of person that wanted to own a nightclub. I was not the kind of person that wanted to stay up all night in a nightclub. I had to stay up all night managing the club, doing all these different, and it just wasn't working for me. So some of these things made money, but they didn't make sense for me. Legal Shield, tax offices, assistant living, Janet King janitorial service, a networking company, a nightclub, investing in real estate. I did all of these different things, right? And I kept going up and down, up and down, up and down. And what I realized is business is its own entity. It's its own entity. So you can be a cook, you could be a dancer, right? You could be a scientist, you could be an educator, you can be whatever you want to be. When you step into the world of business, that's a completely different learning curve. And I learned that in that process. So what helped me become a coach was when I realized that I was training for 20 years for free, because I've been training for over 20 years. I've only been getting paid for maybe the last 7. So all those other years, I just trained for free. When I realized that that was my passion and realized that I had something to give, and the something to give that made me go into the coaching world was there were too many people that thought because they were good at something that they could open up a business. And they had to realize that opening up a business means that you sometimes have to walk away from what you do well to run the business. So if you love working on pets, if you're a veterinarian and you love working on pets, don't open up a veterinary office, just work on somebody else's. Because the minute you open up a veterinary office, you will not be working on a whole bunch of pets anymore. Because there's going to be a lot of other things you're going to have to take care of. So part of me being a coach is me showing people that love what you do, have a passion in what you do, but understand as a passionate business owner, you need to understand business and don't mix the two. Don't mix the two. Run your business and do what you love. And so for me, it's all about quality of life. It's not about how much money I make. It's about me being able to go to sleep, knowing that I did what I said I was going to do. It's about being able to give my children and my granddaughter, who we raised because my daughter has a mental illness, the lifestyle that I couldn't afford for my kids because I had my kids young. I was broke. I was struggling. Their mom was struggling, and now we have a chance to do all the things for our granddaughter, and now for my 15-year-old son, who's the youngest, and I'm in a different position. So I want to help people be able to do that. And I know doing what I do right now, this has been the best way for me to be able to do that. So I know that was a long introduction. I apologize. I am going to now turn it back over to Miss Sharon Leary.
I was trying to show you guys that we all have shirts on, BAPS shirt, and we all have something different on. So I wanted to, so you guys could see, mine is freedom. You know, when Mr. Dunbar talked about, it's not about the money, for me, it's about the freedom. It's about having the opportunity to be with my grandchildren, be with my husband. So yeah, it's not about the money, but when you're doing what you love and you're passionate about it, the money does come. So HB, what does your shirt say?
My shirt says self-mastery. You know what I mean? And I love the way you just set that up, because I feel just like you, it's not about the money. It's a lot. I'm from the west side of Chicago, late 80s, early 90s. I've been turning money down, big money, for a long time. All money, not good money. As my granny would say, all money ain't good money. And so it's about being able to have the freedom and the finances, not just for the sake of finances, but for the sake of mastering myself. Because this is really the only thing I have in control. And what I've learned is when you master yourself, you vibrate and influence everything around you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you put a speaker close to a pool, you're going to see the ripples in the water, even though the speaker don't touch the pool. There's forces that we can't see that force, but it exists. We can't see magnetism, but it exists. Often we can't even see the wind, but we know it could take down a building, right? So when our self-mastery and me mastering myself is just, man, probably because of the journey that I went through. Just growing up and experiencing life. So that's what this whole thing is about. You master yourself, everything else around you will fall into place. You'll find out it was in place already. You just weren't looking at it right.
Thank you, HB. Miss Samone, what are you hailing?
Mine says go live, family. It's non-negotiable. You are qualified. Write that down. You are qualified. When you recognize that you are qualified and you don't need anybody's permission to become your own platform, it shifts the way that you show up for your people. It is your obligation and your duty to serve at all levels. I asked my best friend just, I want to say 2 weeks ago before her birthday, I said, are you ready to be obedient? And are you ready to be platformed? We ask, however we see, we ask God, Allah, Yahweh, source, energy, whatever we report to, we ask for so much. But I want to ask you, don't you recognize that you're qualified? So going live isn't, oh, we're going live. No, it's you serving in your purpose. It's you showing up. And I'm so excited to be able to do that with you, family. Back to you, Coach Larry.
Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen. And Rob, we did see yours, right?
Yeah, mine says automation, and it says automation because I believe in reversing the cycle of having a bunch of employees help you run the business, but having some software and an intelligent employee that save you that money, because having employees is one of your biggest expenses. And now you can run your business on automation. You can literally go anywhere in the world and still run your business as long as you understand automation.